So we are just about finished sorting out these door slammers back in these staging lanes, and then we'll see the first pair roll out from under the bridge.
Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Door slammers, Group C to the lanes. Door slammers, Group C coming up, lanes 5 and 6. Door slammers, Group C to the lanes. And with that, that should be it. All door slammers should already be in or on your way to the lanes.
So we have made the call for the final grouping of door slammers, which should include all door slammers. Door slammers, if you're not in the lanes, it's where you need to be regardless of which group you were in. First pair is going to be a single. Rod Leclerc, our number one qualifier, rolls up in the Camaro. He's chosen the left side of the racetrack to make his run in. Number one qualifier with a 678. So essentially, Rod gets a third time trial. Not a bad deal. Gotta say, I like the new look. Well, Nolan just pointed out that it's not that new. I know it was this paint scheme last year too, but to me it still looks pretty fresh and new because we saw it be blue for a lot of years. So. So Leclerc ready to go. Crew member resetting the computer. Bam, he gets in there quick and he's gone. Little bit of tire shake. Car wanting to make a move towards the center line. Rod wisely says, now why would I continue with that? Even if I was to get down the track, I wouldn't really be gaining any data. So he crosses the finish line with not a lot of momentum. Hopefully he's going to be able to make it off under his own power. That's going to set up our first pair. Grant Howell is going to take on the champ. Howell in the right lane. 1937 Chevrolet. It's completely stock. Untouched since it left the showroom floor. Well, except for just about everything. So Grant Howell in the right lane, dialed 763. Peter Lacanis over here, tower side, 2023 Door Slammers champion for Transporters Logistics. Dialed in at 851. Oh, slight correction on the dial. 766. So we'll eventually get this correct, I guess. Grant Howell. It's got 763 on the window. Tell him too bad. It says 63 on the window. All right, we'll let Grant kind of get away with one here. Big part of the confusion over whether it was a 66 or a 63 is because he's got 63 written on the side window and 66 written on the front window. So We'll just let this be a reminder to everybody. Make sure you get your dial on there large and legible. We need it to be bold, clear, and very easy to read. Wow. After all that, he goes dead 3. Grant Howell, 66 with a 3 on the 766 dial. Peter Lacanis was 004 up front, but could only manage 856 on the 851 dial. Grant Howell getting there by a scant 28 thousandths of a second. Hey, Super Combo and Super Shifters. Standby call going out to you guys. Start getting ready. Your call will be coming up here shortly. Standby call once again going out to Lordco Super Combo and McLeod Clutches Super Shifters. Now, Howie Winklehorst and Jay Severston. So a substantial starting line advantage for one of these two guys, and it is your winner. Winklehorst was 36 up front, then goes 33 on the 829, 833 on the 829. Jay Severston with a 164 reaction time was in tough shape. So Howie Winklehorst moving on to round number 2. That'll set up Aiden Katnick and Otto Schulte. Schulte, past door slammers champion. In the right lane, dialed 746. In his 05 Chevrolet Cavalier. Aiden Katnick, behind the wheel of the Mustang, dialed 830. Schulte getting all kinds of loose there and awful close to the center line. Wisely decides, I got to back out of this. And in the end, still collects the win light as Aiden Katnick goes too quick. 827 on the 830. Taking almost a half second at the finish line. Otto Schulte will be a player in round number 2. Did you see the burnout Greg Field just did? That was pretty cool.
That whole car is pretty cool. I think most people would agree.
Yes, it is. So Greg doing a fine job putting a little heat in the Hoosiers. So 1969 Opel GT. Somebody's had their way with the body lines just a little bit, but that's all good. That is one hairy ride for sure. Short wheelbase to the 9s and all kinds of horsepower. Couple of turbos feeding a big block Chevy. Number 2 qualifier dials in here at 660. Brian Ritchie with his work cut out for him over there in the right lane. Dialed 780 in the black Chevelle. Both drivers get away clean, and Greg Field was absolutely awesome. Check this out. 008 up front on a Pro 410s tree. Yeah, baby, that's getting after it. Then 661 with a 2 on the 660 dial, taking 16 thousandths of a second while coming in on a guy with but 53 miles per hour difference. Brian Ritchie, dead zero on the 780 dial, but with a 36 light. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was a dandy bracket race. Very cool. Nice job, guys. Mike Kenworthy and Poe Freeborn now. Poe behind the wheel of that absolutely wicked Shelby Mustang in the right-hand lane. Kenworthy, tower side, in the Firebird, dialed 809. He's going to lead first. Somebody just went trip zip, and it was your winner. Trip zip with a 4.811 on the 809 dial. Mike Kenworthy going to round 2. Poe Freeborn was 39 up front, then 721 on the 715 dial. So we have a single car up here. I can only assume that this would have to be a competition single, and, well, yes, it is. Johnny West unable to make the call here in round number 1. So Ray Russiani essentially gets a time trial here in round number 1. Basically, at the point that he stages the car, his wind light's going to come on. A little snoozy on the starting line, but when you're on the freebie, it's all good. How about 824 on the 821 dial? Attention in the pits. Hey, listen up out there in the pits. Super Combo. Lordco Super Combo. Bring them down to lanes 5 and 6. And we'll also make the call for Super Shifters. Super Shifters, we'd like you in lanes 1 and 2. Super Shifters, come on down to staging lanes 1 and 2, please. Super Combo to 5 and 6. Super Shifters to 1 and 2. So Andy Hatton and Jason Field. Jason Field for Greenlight Auto Sales. Also wants to thank Induction Solutions, Hutch's Transmissions, and Mincer Motorsports. Andy Hatton behind the wheel of the Grinch. He's got his work cut out for him. Can he turn the wind light on? No, he can't. 820 with a 9 on the 820 dial, but 46 on the tree. Jason Field with a 13 light, then goes 22 on the 718 dial. Taking the stripe by 0.2 of a second. I don't care who you are or how good your eyes are, you're not seeing that.
That's got to be, what, half an inch maybe at over 150 miles an hour?
I'd be guessing, but yeah, I'd say you're probably not far off. That's where both guys are going. I hope it was me. So Kathy Freeborn now. That very tough-looking 1970 Camaro. Scott Robinson, another past champ. Based on his 007 light, it's not a stretch that this guy would be a past champ. 762 with a 2 on the 760 dial. 29 thou total. Kathy Freeborn had a 32 thou light. So she was pretty much in an impossible situation from the get-go. That'll set up this pair. Dave Warren John DeYoung. John DeYoung, our number, I was going to say he's our number 3 qualifier, but is he? Yes, he is. Qualified number 3, 706. Dave Warren in the Blue Max Bel Air. This car has served Dave well for a lot of years. So, John DeYoung, the new motor combo for 2024. Dial 726 here in round 1. Well, here's an easy one for John. Not sure what happened to Dave, but I heard John pedaling pretty early. Winds up 758 on the 726 dial. He was 16 on the tree. Dave Warren had a 111 reaction time, so he was really in rough shape. Marvel Racing. Right-hand side of the racetrack. A 1954 Studebaker. Who'd have thunk it? Couple of silver cars. Brad Powell over here, Tower Side. Powell out of Linden, Washington. Just across the line. Brad Powell dialed in at 840. Mark Thompson dials the Stude in at 751. Both cars pre-staged. Mark's in. Brad's in. So one of these drivers picking up 19 thou on the starting line, and it was your winner, Brad Powell. Goes 838 on the 840 dial to win a double breakout. Thompson way under. 745 on the 751. Did a nice job at the finish line, taking 25 at the stripe, but was behind on the starting line, and that was his undoing. Now Derek Shirk. Hey, listen up. We'll put juniors on standby. Ooh, a little bit of shaky for Derek Shirk, but he drove through it and gets the win. How about 795 on the 766? Good enough. Darren Buick had a 485 reaction time. Not going to win very many races that way. Once again, juniors, you are on standby. Peden Industries, Junior Street, Junior Thunder, Junior Lightning. We need you all to get ready to go. Juniors, this is your standby call. And now TLD, Terry Langdon Davies. For Langdon Davies Concrete. TLD over in the right lane, dialed 818 in the black and purple Willys. This guy is a veteran. And Paul Stratch, Tower Side. The very red Cavalier. A 22,000 difference on the starting line. TLD way over by the center line. Looked like a fairly easy one for Paul Stretch. 62 on the 33, good enough. Langdon Davies forced to give up on the run. So it looks like another competition single. Ray Bollinger. Benefits from Mike Bedsworth. I believe he lost a motor this morning. Not 100% sure. That's just what I heard. Obviously not able to make the call here in round number 1. So Bollinger on a freebie. Predicts he's going to go 8:05. Once again, we'll make another standby call for juniors. Junior Street, Junior Thunder, Junior Lightning. Please be ready to go. You are on standby. So Bollinger comes up 8:06 with a 6 on the 8:05 dial. And we'll be back in round number 2. That'll put round number 1 for the Winter Harbor Marina RV Canada West Door Slammers in the books. Again, this weekend's event brought to us by TCS. In addition to those two sponsors, the Door Slammers would also like to acknowledge Artex Racing, Greenlight Auto Sales and Financing. We're also a VP Race Fuel distributor, Jason Field, Paradise Homes, Alpine Backhoe, Lance Racing, Associated Tire and Auto, Comox Valley Excavating, Titanium Auto Group, NC Engines, Travel and RV. So we'll see the Door Slammers back up for their second round of competition in, I don't know, an hour, something like that. So who do we have now, Nolan?
Well, it's going to be Rich Graves as it roll into BC's Super Shifters. And it'll be the buy run for Rich Graves. He was dialed in at 11:54, ran 11:47 on the 54 dial, 600ths under the mark. First pairing up will be John DePork at that 77 Camaro dialed at 10:08, dead on alongside Dale Posnick in the Mustang.
So I got to say, all these super shifters, these guys hit the tire really hard, but Dale Posnick's car, if you watch that thing closely, we're not going to get a good view of it this time, but his rear tires just go straight down into the ground. Absolutely brutal on the starting line. Poor Brian's down there going, hey, what are you doing?
Double breakout, John DePork. Only under by 6 thou, while Posnick was 400ths under. So DePork will move on into the second round of competition.
Junior Street, bring them down to lanes 5 and 6. Junior Street, this is your call to the staging lanes. One more time, we need Junior Street to the lanes. Junior Street, come on down to 5 and 6.
So red lights flick on as start line crews just go out just to make a quick track check, make sure everything is still in tip-top shape. The Super Shifters are really unlike most racing you'll see on the NHRA drag strip, using all 4 appendages, one of the shifter, one of the wheel, one of the throttle, and one of the clutch. We'll bring out Will Friesen in the Warbird. Dialed at 999 for the 1957 T-Bird. He'll be racing Lynn Bruch. Dialed at 858. So Friesen already getting in fully into the beams. Lynn Bruch in just behind. Friesen off and away. Bruch off and away. Bruch drifting left. corrects back to the center, but the green light on the starting line, nothing to celebrate about. But how about that? He's going to make a 4/10 of a second reaction time work for him. Will Friesen took way too much out of the brakes at the top end. That brings up Al Lougheed and Keith Winterbottom. 9:45 to a 9:59. 1963 Falcon to a 1968 Camaro. The rags to riches top shop Camaro brings it up on the right lane. Lougheed makes the pass on Keith Winterbottom, puts himself into second round of competition. That will bring up Jamie Roth down at a 997 in the Ford Comet. He'll face off against Will Zorick down at 1090 even in that 1962 Bel Air. So far, not too many reaction times that have been terribly stellar so far in this first round of eliminations, and still seeking for something that starts with a 0.
Well, there you go.
You got it from Jamie Roth, and it'll go up against Will Zorick's red light. So Jamie Roth threw it around 2.
And did Will Zorick's red light start with a 0? No, it didn't. It started with a 1.
A little eager to get off on the hitch there.
Yes, he was.
Alf Weeb brings up the Buick down to 1056. He'll race Scott Winterbottom for the Rags to Riches Top Shop Chevy 2 down to 945. 415 cubic inch small block Chevy motor underneath Winterbottom's machine Lordco sign, already pre-staged. Believe this will be the final pass in BC Super Shifters, presented by McLeod Clutches.
So kind of a cool little factoid about the 70 Buick that we see in the left lane. Alf Weeb driving that car. It's actually owned by retired Pro Stock racer Jason Line.
And well, he'll take that to the victory too. 1 thou as Scott Winterbottom was all over the shot. Right off the hitch, drifted over, almost tagged the right side wall, and well, that spells a win for Alf Weeb.
You know, if Scott Winterbottom's car ever goes straight, well, someone should be alarmed, because Mark Downing in the Malibu, tower side.
We've rolled, of course, into Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo. A much bigger field this time. It was only 6 cars their first time out 2 weeks ago. I'm really glad to see, though, that the field size is really swelled. It's practically double in size. Pair of green bulbs. Throttle stops, released. Downey trying to stay out in front of Christensen. On the brakes, double breakout. And Downing is into the next round.
There we go. So Downing to the stripe first by 13 thou. And again, because he had the advantage at the starting line by more than 13 thou, he's automatically going to win that race. Hey, listen up, door slammers. The ladder has been updated, and you can check it out on the Facebook group. Once again, door slammers, check out the updated ladder on your Facebook group. So Dan Parsons gets around Steve Veach in the Battle of the Dusters. Parsons 1094 on the 1090 dial. He'll be back. Well, this is kind of a cool pair. Actually, we saw this pair in the final round of qualifying. Dave Stobie and Josh Meloff. Meloff in the right lane, doing the super gas thing, working on the 990 index. But he'll hang around with the starting line, theoretically, for exactly 1 second. Oh, Dave Stobie unable to hold it in the beams. Josh Meloff had not yet lit the fourth bulb. And, well, kind of a weird deal, but Josh Meloff moving on to round number 2.
I mean, you know what they say, right? A win's a win.
It absolutely is.
Cloud running down track. And it'll be Herman Cloud to move on into the next round. So Jerry Up will knock that Mustang out in the first round of competition.
So I don't know if you'll be able to remember this, but we got a pretty good typo on the screen. It's actually Herman Chan.
Oh, Herman Chan.
I don't know how they got C-L-O-W out of C-H-A-N, but maybe Herman needs to work on his handwriting or something. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll bet that had something to do with it.
I've had some wild typos before. That's just one for the list.
So now Martin Rochelle and Brandon Hutchinson. Brandon also doing the super gas thing. And he's done. 34 red. So Martin was 009 up front. How close can he get to the 1090? How about dead on with a 7? 16 thou total. Nice job right there. Martin Rochelle, quite a resume. Was a world champion in pro bracket way back when. Been a division champion in Super Pro. And has racked up lots of wins in many classes. Warren Jacobson. Trip zip, baby. Unfortunately, well, not really that unfortunate. It doesn't matter, but it was a red trip zip. 0.0002 red.
Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Pro brackets on standby. Bubba Speed Shop Pro Bracket, you're on standby for second round eliminations.
Well, that'd be me, but now that we're on a ladder, I'm not in as much of a hurry to get out there because I don't need to be ready to hit the lanes at any specific time.
First pair number Peanut Industries Junior Street, James versus Jenna. 10 seconds to a 10:52. And this is for the semifinal round.
Well, we'll make a call now for Pro Bracket to the lanes. Pro Bracket, this is your call to the staging lanes. One more time, Pro Bracket, Pro Bracket. Bring them on down.
James will be moving on into the final, knocking out Jenna by just 12 thou. That'll bring up Sophia and Taryn. One of them races James in the final. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Sportsman, you're on standby. Vancouver Car Wrap Sportsman, you're on standby. Two green bulbs once again, so an all-green Junior Street semifinal round. And a double breakout. Sophia got there first, went too quick. Taryn will face off against James in the final. I hear Junior Dragsters firing up behind the tower. This will be for the second round. First round saw 17 cars. We have whittled that down to 9. So 4 rounds total remain. And it starts off with the Green Brothers Racing duo. Alex Racing Jack, both representing Global Containers. 1215 to a 1395. Alex knocks out his brother Jack. That'll bring up Cadence and Bentley. Ken Special Deanna, Ernie Speed Customs, Color Compass, Moo on Truck Body, Titanium Auto Group, David Truden, and Elite Belts over here. TCS side, down to 895. Matching the dial on the right-hand side is the Bubba Speed Shop, Heated Industries, Titanium Auto Group, Napa Auto, Badass Garage, and Heatwave Half-Scale Dragster. Running down track and a breakout for Bentley, just 2 thou under the mark. We'll see the win go the way of Cadence. Hunter T will bring it up against Grayson, 893 to a 920. Firing down track. And it'll be Grayson. Moving on, goes 923 on the 920 dial. Red light start for Nash, and Ashton will be moving on to the quarterfinals. So we'll bring up Adam for TK Performance at Lordco Auto Parts down at 890. With the by run, running down the 8th mile mark. And that will roll us into Junior Lightning. Semi-final round. Oh, sorry, the quarterfinal round, not the semi-final round. Abby with the by run in Junior Lightning will roll on to the next pair. Lexi brings it up. Nick over Lordco side. Hobart and Bowtie Ventures over here down to the 8 and 9. JBS Equipment down to 795 Lordco side. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Sportsmen to the lanes for laddering. We need sportsmen to the lanes for laddering. And Lexi goes red. Nick is into round number 3. Connor brings it up over here on the left lane for TKO Hot Rods, Fitness Lab, Panther Auto Glass, Albion Thailand, and Lordco Auto Parts, down to 812, Racing Jackson for JBS Equipment, and Grandpa, down to 859. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Door slammers on standby. Canada West door slammers. This is your standby call. Jackson goes red. Connor will be in to the semifinals. And that is going to wrap up Peaton Industries junior classes. Next up, Bubba Speed Shop Pro Bracket. Red light start for Mal Patterson, and John Tabak is into round 3. Mike Render turns on the red light. So Lorenz Schwartz will take that one into the quarterfinals. Lights around the track are starting to turn on as we lose more and more sunlight. Chris Stone up next, down at 9.99 for Willowbrook Chrysler and Stone Cold Racing. Walter Johnson brings up the Chevelle down at 11.10. And Chris Stone makes the pass. Walter Johnson knocked down and out in second round of eliminations in Pro Bracket. Brings us along smoothly to James Dobson against Steve Baskerville. Dead Man's Racing a Ron's Engine Machine down to 1042 to race Baskerville's 2-liter turbo Golf down to 1331. Dobson goes red, could not be patient enough. Baskerville is into the next round. That brings up Dylan Scott in the Baja North Chevelle down to 1015. Facing off against Ralph Ehlers' Junkyard Dog Mustang down to 1064. And Ralph Ehlers going to take the win as Dylan Scott turns on the red light. Scott bumping through the beams before the tree was red. He could not hold it on the line. Ehlers takes it home. Next up is Bobby Ehlers in the 1989 Mustang down at 1014 to race Nick Douglas in the 2023 Super B. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Door slammers to 5 and 6. Door slammers to 5 and 6. Super Pro, you're on standby. Oh, and Douglas will go red. Took the win in round 1. He would be knocked out in round 2. Ryan LeDre will race Dustin Hunter. And Hunter couldn't hold it in the beams. LeDre gonna go red. Andy Klosky goes up against Craig Johnson. Two green bulbs. Klosky running down track. Doesn't make the pass. Craig Johnson stays out in front and takes it into round 3. Rolling into Vancouver Car Wrap Sportsman. Dave Copeland races Ann Copeland, and in the Copeland duo, the husband goes red. Ann Copeland is through to the quarterfinals. Phil Wells brings up his Malibu for TNT Auto, racing Joel Smith. Zapstrap racing Chevelle. About 2/10 separate them on the tree. Phil Wells seeing if he can run down Joel Smith. Smith, right side, still out in front, stays in front, but goes under. Bill Wells moves into the next round. 10 to the pits, 10 to the pits. Can to the West door slammers, can to the West door slammers. This is your second call to the lanes. All door slammers still in competition to the lanes. Bring up Andrew Valley down to 13:51 for the Buick Skylar. Kevin McCauley running down track out of 11:65. To the quarter. Give it up. Andrew Valley, 13:65, 87 miles an hour. McCauley goes 11:66 at 1:13. Rob Gatz up next, down to the 1297. This is the final pairing in Sportsman. Sean Langley alongside. Made it out of the first round, seeing if he could somehow go to the not to the semis, to the quarters. And it was not meant to be, as Langley turns on the red light. Rob Gatz also turned on the red light. But Langley, the worst of the bunch. 10 to the pits, 10 to the pits. Door slammers, door slammers, this is your third call. Door slammers, you're next. You need to be in the lanes yesterday. Door slammers to the lanes. Well, I was wrong when I said get in line with the final pair, as that will turn to Nick Douglas and Sylvia Hookstons. And make that two more pairs, so I'm getting it wrong all over the place. So Douglas and Hookstons, first one up, 1226 to 1266. Leaving by about a bulb's length. Just shy of it. Down track we go. And a double breakout gives it the way of Sylvia Hookstons, your 2023 champion, knocked out in round two. Next up, Ryan Ledre and Dave Jung. Chevelle v. Malibu. And at the quarter, Ledre will hang on, makes the pass for the win. Dave Jung is knocked out. Now that will close out the sportsman category. And we get set to roll into Door Slammers. Attention to the pits, attention in the pits. Super Pro to the lanes, Rad Torque System, Super Pro to the lanes to be laddered. Rad Torque System, Super Pro, we need you in the lanes to be laddered. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Hot Rod on standby. Hot Rod, we got you on standby. Hot Rod on standby. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Hot Rod to the lanes, Hot Rod to the lanes. We need Hot Rod to the lanes. So first pair rolling into the water box in Canada West Door Slammers for their second round of competition. Rod Leclerc, of course, had the bye run in round number 1, and this time your number 1 qualifier will face off against the number 21 qualifier of Ray Rusiani. Chevy Camaro for Paradise Homes facing off against the Dexy Paws Chevy 2. Green lights a pair. Running down track. Can Rod Leclerc get him? Yes, he does. Awkward launch on both sides. Rod Leclerc somehow turns a 1 second reaction time into a W. Otto Schulte brings it up against John DeYoung for the next pair. John DeYoung in hot pursuit of Schulte. Camaro trying to best Cavalier. Both cars wobbling a bit as they get to the quarter-mile mark. John DeYoung having to lift early, goes under in the process. Otto Schulte is into the next round. Bring up Paul Stretch and Derek Shirk. 733 to a 766. And with a breakout from Paul Stretch, Derek Shirk will be moving on to round number 3. Bring up Grant Howell in the Chevy Willys, facing off against Jason Field in the Overkill, Ritchie Racing Engines, Greenlight Auto Sales, Induction Solutions, Hutchins Transmissions, and Mensker Motorsports Chevelle. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Super Combo and Super Shifters, you're both on standby. Super Combo and Super Shifters, you're both on standby. Jason Field in hot pursuit of Grant Howell, trying to rip that one out the back door. Gets there first, but breaks out by just 2 thou, and Grant Howell is in to round 3. So Grant Howell knocking out Jason Field. Field got there first by 4 thou, broke out by 2. Grant Howell is into the next round. Mike Kenworthy, the next one up to race Scott Robinson. Racing out to the quarter mile mark. Scott Robinson gets there by 1 thou. Mike Kenworthy could not stay in front. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Super combo to the lanes. We need super combo to the lanes. Super combo to the lanes. Greg Field next one up in that Active Car Auto Jubilee RV Total Turbo and Lordco Auto Parts Opel GT. Ripping it back to Howie Winklehorst in the Bel Air. 829 to a 660. Very heavy hitter over here left side. Green lights. Field, whoa, look out, gets all over the groove, still puts his foot in it, runs that one out the back door, but not enough for the win. Howie Winklehorst will hang on. And Greg Field with a wild save, able to try to get his foot in it. Valiant effort, but unable to move on to round 3. That'll bring up Ray Bollinger, racing Brad Powell. Ray Bollinger and Brad Powell. Nice pair down track. Quarter mile mark, Brad Powell will lock out Ray Bollinger and move on to round number 3. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Super shifters to the lanes, super shifters to the lanes. That is super shifters to the lanes.
Combo cars, we need you guys to the lanes right away. Combo cars to the lanes right away, please.
First pairing up, Mike Robinson brings up the Ford Roadster to race against Jeremy Soares over in the right lane. 910 dialed up against the 747. JBS equipment and JS Power Sports for the TCS lane. Lordco lanes got the Source Transportation Camera and Dragster. One away, two away. Jeremy Source chasing down the Roadster as they reach the quarter mile. Closing, makes the pass. 2,000, gives it to the Dragster. Jeremy Source is into the quarterfinals. Next pairing up, Martin Rochelle still dialed in on that 1090 index to race against Lorenz Schwartz for Titanium Auto Group Bubba Speed Shop with the Monte Carlo dialed at 10:06. Schwartz will take out Martin Rochelle. Rochelle will be going back around quite quickly to pick up the tail end of the Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo category. Dan Parsons seeing if he can outlast Clint Delavecchia. Delavecchia down track. Makes the pass. Dan Parsons knocked out. Another combo runner out of competition. Bring up Wes Voth for the Acumen Machine Shop Firebird. Racing Kevin McNichol for Radtor Systems, Ken Specialty Auto, Lordco Auto Parts, Lucas Oil, Gibson Transmissions, and Jim Banky Racing. Pair of green bulbs. Wes Voth trying to run down the Nova. Top end doesn't get there. McNichol out in front, won that on a hole shot. And quite a lot of smoke at the top end for Wes Voth, as that car is up in it. So we are going to shut things down to check that track after Wes Voth's car went up in full smoke at the top end, billowing out from under the engine bay. So Emily Gerard will be the next one up for the Shear Solutions Just Mechanical Undercover Dragster, dialed at 747 to race John Tabac. And the Rad Torque Systems S10, dialed at 1037. Gerard will be going off that top bulb. And we'll hope that that delay box is set correctly. Tough matchup for this one. Two drivers that have gone into late rounds on quite a few occasions. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Car 698L in Super Shifters. Car 698 Lima in Super Shifters. We need you in the lanes now. Car 698 Lima in Super Shifters. We need you in the lanes now. Car's ready fired. Tabac's away. Gerard's away. Emily Gerard chasing down John Tabac on the left lane. Can she get around him at the quarter? Yes, she does. Emily Gerard is through to the quarters. We roll now into Old Car Center Hot Rod. Rob Monroe Jr. brings out the Winter Harbor Machine, dialed at 1038 for the Acadian. Dennis Winton brings up his Shaggy Bel Air for another hit, dialed at 1162. Running down track, Rob Monroe stays out in front of Dennis Winton. So Monroe going to be moving on to the next round. Brings up Rollin' Lowen in that Lordco Auto Parts Meteor, dialed at 1279, and leaves well ahead of Larry Rodenizer. Rodenizer taking off. And Lowen will be turning on the wind lights. Rodenizer cannot get around him. 13th out of the good on the tree for Lowen. We'll see a solid run into round 3. And Darryl Tipping, the next pair to run down. Up to the quarter mile. Rabander gets there first, makes the pass. Chris Stone brings up the Stone Cold Racing Willowbrook Chrysler Dodge Dart to face off against Dustin Hunter. 2 away. Hunter chasing. Gets there first, gets there too quick. Stone to round 3. Attention in the pits, tension in the pits. License and test to lane 6. License and test coming up to lane 6. License and test to lane 6. And to all racers, please make sure that your dial numbers are nice and clear. It is getting a little hard to see them up here in the tower with all the glare. Jim Banky on the bye. We roll to super shifters. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Junior drags and junior street, we need you on standby. All junior classes, we need you on standby. He turns it red. Rich Graves will move on into the semifinal round of Super Shifters. Jamie Roth turns it red. So John DePort will get the bye run into the final. Bring up Alf Weeb to race against Lim Bruch. 10:59 to an 8:58. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Juniors to the lanes, juniors to the lanes. All junior classes to the lanes. Oh, and Bruch could not be patient. Turns on the reds. Alf Weeb into the semis. He'll face off against Rich Graves. Once again, that's juniors to the lanes, juniors to the lanes. Thunder to 1, Lightning to 2, Street to 3 and 4. Thunder 1, Lightning 2, Street 3 and 4. We roll to Lordco Auto Parts, Super Combo. Rolling into Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo. started off with the Malibu, racing Josh Meloff of the Meloff Excavating Corvette. Mark Downey has fought his way through one round already, trying to see if he can go into 3. Both cars picking up the front wheels. Whoa, look out, Meloff getting a bit crossed up, and he's going to abort that run. So easy win there from Mark Downey to the top end as Meloff almost lost it at about the 8th mile mark, the second that throttle stop disengaged. Brings up your number 1 qualifier, Warren Jacobson, to race Dan Parsons. Both out at 1090. Chevy 2 versus the Duster. And we are shutting it off just to do a quick track check. are going to be sending cars back to the pits. Unclear what this means for the program extended. We're still waiting for further updates on that, but that has been the order for now. So that's why you saw Warren Jacobson fire up and roll down track, and now Rochelle backing up.
Okay, everybody, the track temperature is getting a little low, so we're going to call it a night for the big cars. We're going to try and finish the junior dragsters and the junior street, at least this round of them. But we're done for the night, and I'd probably like to have everybody down here in about 20 minutes for a driver's meeting. Driver's meeting in about 20 minutes down by the tower.
So that is, of course, all remaining drivers still in competition will be down for that drivers meeting. That'll be at the base of the timing tower. So for all the big cars, we are calling it a night. Track is too cold to run. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Yvette Jacobson, we need Yvette Jacobson to the tower, please. Yvette Jacobson to the tower. Never mind, never mind. Never mind, Yvette, we don't need you. Enjoy your night. James and Taryn up for the Peterson Industries Junior Street Final. And James running down track. Taryn trying to see if Taryn can stay out in front. And she does. Taryn takes it in Junior Street. We roll back into Junior Thunder. Five cars remain in competition. Cadis brings it up first for the Ken Specialty Auto, Ernie Speed Customs, Color Compass, Milron Truck Body, Titanium Auto Group, David Trudy in the Leap Belts, Creative Dragster out at 909. Alex races up in Global Containers down at 1221. Caden's trying to chase down Alex. Alex out in front. Alex sent packing. 3 thou under the dial. Went 12-20 with a 6 on the 12-21 dial. Cadence is into the semis. And in fact, Cadence into the final with the bye run in the semifinals. Grayson, the next one up, facing off against Adam. TK Performance of Lordco Auto Parts representing over there. Lordco side down in the 890. Grayson down at 924. And it's a red light start for Grayson. Couldn't make it. Adam is into the semis to face off against Ashton. Ashton will be up and into the semifinal round, racing up against the Green Brothers Racing driver of Adam. That rolls us into the Junior Lightning category, where 3 cars remain. One of those is Nick with the bye into the final. Question is, will it be against Connor or against Abby? Running down track, Connor or Abby. Who faces Nick in the final round? It'll be Connor, as Abby got there first, but breaks out in the process. So attention to all the juniors. Attention all juniors. 5 minutes standby. 5 minutes standby. We're going for a quick turnaround. We're fighting track temp. Be ready to go. Juniors, 5 minutes standby. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Juniors to the lanes, juniors to the lanes. Junior dragsters to the lanes, junior dragsters, we need you to the lanes. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. All the drivers still in competition, please report to the base of the timing tower for a driver's meeting. All drivers still in competition, please report to the base of the timing tower for a driver's meeting. So Cadence brings up the Junior Dragster. She is the bye run in Junior Thunder. Setting ourselves up for the final. And that rolls us back around for the remaining half of the Junior Thunder semifinals. TK Performance and Lordco Auto Parts. Set up over here, TCS side, down to 1190. 3 seconds later, it'll be Adam. The two teammates from TK Performance going head to head to see who faces off against Cadence in the final round. And top man Ashton is into the final round against Cadence. Bring out the Junior Lightning final. Connor facing off against Nick. Green ones. Nick trying to get there first ahead of Connor. And he does, 2/10,000ths of a second. Tightest margin of victory on the afternoon. And by the smallest of margins by about an inch, Nick takes it in Junior Lightning. The final pair rolling into the box. The Junior Thunder final. It'll be Ashton facing off against Cadence. One of these drivers walks away with the first win of the season. Ken Specialty Auto, Ernie Speed Customs, Color Compass, Bill Ron, Truck Body, Titanium Auto Group, David, Trudy, and Elite Belts. Over in TCS side, Ashton's away, Cadence away. TK Performance trying to stay out in front. Cadence closing, closes too quick. Ashton takes it in Junior Thunder. And with that, that is going to do it for JBS Equipment race number 5. Want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us up here and for bearing with us through what was a very long and trying day. It's a shame we couldn't get the program in, but fate seems to have had different plans this afternoon. But we'll get set to go racing once again 2 weeks from now when we go racing once again for the JBS Equipment ET Series and for CMDRA at the Titanium Strip.